Good morning, UniVersus community. We are here for day 2, the top 16 of the Atlanta Summer Regional. Man, it is a lot cooler in this room today, I'll tell you that much.
You know who else is a lot cooler?
Who?
Christopher Bromley right behind us.
Oh, yeah. That
This
man's fly with the cat shirt.
He's off this round, of course. It is our morning of day 2 of Atlanta, just like you said, and we have an incredible top 16. I think a lot of known factors that we were talking about, a lot of surprises still. And if you've been paying attention to the stream, if you're just now tuning in, we have all the graphics for our top 16 deck list. We're going to go over our feature match, but throughout the day, in between times, we're going to have those go through, even if people have been eliminated. But things of note, surprises that you saw going into top 16 today, Jesse. What's the biggest one? And excited to hear about the story of what's going to happen today for that player and or character.
I'm actually really I decided to put my horse in the race here of while riding field, one of my local members of RGC is in the running. I want to see George Porco deck just start grinding through. I think that deck might just be aggro enough to beat the field.
I think that's fair. I mean, aggro 7 hand-sided characters have historically had success. I feel like it's been a while, though. And if there's anyone in the field or character in the format right now, Porco is the one to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kind of interested in the Travis Tangeman running back Krista. Krista Lenz, from set 1 of Attack on Titan, and he's second place coming out of Swiss here. So he's going to go first unless he ends up against Gavin Kale all the way at the end, right? So it is just one of those factors of, I think, and it's also a wild card character, right? We have our Devil Gens. There's 2 of them in our top cuts, if you haven't been paying attention. We have 4 Han Zoes, so there's another chance where we have another backup-centric game plan winning another top cut. And then, of course, like you said, we got 2 Porcos. We've got a Pony Tsunotori, a Rodan, that Krista, and then the Godzillas, of course. So, there are still plenty of characters and choices that could make it, but I think I might be eating my words because I definitely said that, a slower kind of control deck might be winning this event, which means I've only got a couple of horses left in the race.
It's true. I mean, the Hanjo is kind of in that range of the slow roll control, but it's Midoriya on the move, it's probably the real hit there.
Yeah, and there's a Rodan, obviously. Filbert's our 16th seed, but that he has to conquer one of the stronger aggro decks that people are talking about right now, Devil Jin and Swiss Champ, right? Of Gavin Kale. So it's going to be a little difficult, of course, but I do think that any of these players today could win the entire thing.
Sure.
That being said, we're going to be able to talk about some of the other graphics that we have for you guys. And so we have the pricing we want to go over. And I also want to talk about the players that we still have left in our tournament that have a chance of getting even more points to get their day 2 invite. And here we have Gavin Kale right here, 150 points. He's already got his 50 in for this event to go to his day 2. So congratulations to Gavin Kale.
Yeah.
You're going to Worlds day 2, but there is still something that they're playing for, right? If Gavin Kale were able to get 200 more points by winning this entire event, he would be in a good running position to have his trip get a little expensed for, right? And then, of course, moving further down, Phil Birch is also someone we talked about, 116 points. He needs to get at least top 4 to lock in that day 2, but there are still 2 more regionals after this, of course, and so there is a world where they can earn some more points throughout this year as well.
I mean, the thing is a lot of the people, obviously, there's the people who are already there and then some. Like Travis Tangeman's already there and then some. He's pretty much banking points to stay ahead.
Yeah, Calvin Harrigal, or Wub, he is also in our top 16, so he's already going to be getting some more points. Justin Martin already qualified as well, Mitchell Chimino. So they are all in the race to try to be the most points earners for North America. And that's the thing, right? If you're Gavin Kale, you really do need this win because look at all these names that are ahead of you.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to definitely come down to, I'm hearing so many people are going to Glasgow now. It's just it fits in their schedule, and they're just and people are going to come down to Buffalo. They're probably going to have to come down to Buffalo if they want those remaining points. And it's hey, it's a tough pull, but we'll see what happens. We got these amazing regional promos that they're playing for. These Mondo Geckos, man. I just hear Paul Rudd's voice every time.
Absolutely.
It's you're awesome.
I mean, look how righteous he looks, man. And he's wearing the cool little, peace sign shirt underneath it and everything. It is such a cool promo. I even saw some of the other ones. The Scumbug, I think, is one of the other ones that was given out for this event. But these are the big prestige ones. These champion Mondo Geckos. There's only so many of them, right?
Yep.
And there's not a lot. And on top of that, of course, these incredibly cool playmats, these action poses of your TMNT turtle characters. Of course, the champion one on the top left, and in the bottom right, we have the top 16 one. And I think they all look good. I am kind of a fan of the top 16 one as well, but, I'm not playing, so I don't get to win any of them.
True. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We have, for our deciding match for top 16, we have Matt Childress, a old head, I would say. I've known Matt for many years. Came out with the tried and true Godzilla. He's got a couple interesting picks. Like I said, Godzilla's decks are about 85 to 90% the same cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's about 4 slots, 3 attack slots, 4 attack slots, and then a couple of foundations. Everybody swaps out. But the rest of the decks are just the same almost.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of things like Titan Pursuit. He's playing 2 copies of it, but basically it says, hey, if you do end up blocking my thing, I'm still going to be able to get a momentum. And so Titan's Pursuit is one of my favorite ones. He's playing 3 copies of it. And then things like Unfazed in this deck, people already thought this was going to be a good card for Godzilla, but if you're able to get a momentum, or say you opened with a finally free, you can pay for that Echo immediately. Yeah. But his opponent, Mitchell Chimino, like we said, this is one of the the horses I'm kind of rooting for, at least today. With Midoriya on the move, we saw him already top cut with this character 2 other times now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's been putting a lot of work, and ninth plane's coming to Swiss, so he's going to be able to go second against Matt Childress specifically, but it could end up with different results going forward. Of course, the Phantom Threats, the kind of like one-shot potential, Hang 10, great new synergistic piece from TMNT for this character, but you have a bunch of defensive tools as well, such as 4 copies of Ares Smile. Hopefully that's going to help you against this Godzilla.
That is true, but there's one thing we have to tell everybody today, and you want to be tuning in all day for.
Oh, true. We have some card reveals.
We have card reveals.
Yes, we have an upcoming set next month in November, the Guilty Gear Strive Blitz Booster.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse, we're going to reveal 1 card in between every top cuts. We're going to start before we start them. And today, guys, I don't think we told them, but
I don't even know what these are. Like,
but
you know?
Of course I know them. But I think the biggest thing for us, though, is that for everybody at home, if you're not paying attention, normally when we do our top cuts, we'll do top 16, top 8, top 4, and then finals. Today, we have a little special thing for you. We're going to do 5 rounds. We're going to do top 16, top 8, both top 4 matches for you all, and then our finals. So you can see the storylines all the way through for certain players, and as soon as we get to that top 4, you're going to be able to pick your favorite one, of course. Mm-hmm. And that means there is going to be a little bit more coverage today, but it means we have 5 reveals for everybody to cover as well. But we're going to do that reveal maybe in between Game 1 and 2 while our players sideboard. But Game 1, like we said, Matt Childress going to go first, and a build 3, pretty standard.
Let's take a look and see what Mitchell's got in hand. He's got look at that build. With protection, he's got that build. But that's see, the biggest thing about the big adjustment we've seen with these decks, especially the Deku decks, is they're playing infinite potential to swap things to high.
Yes.
To then be able to Eerie Smile block more consistently.
You ready? It's one of the reasons why Mitchell is on air. Of course, this character has 5 symbols, but but one of the reasons you're on air is because of which, like what you said, the response speed timing on play of infinite potential versus there is an air attuned card from TMNT that allows you to also make an attack high. So you could be playing the full suite and that one's air attune, but the one that's response speed is
and it has a +1 high block.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. And that's one of those cards that was reprinted and brought back and still in standard. But you're right. It's so incredibly powerful. And then on top of that, the defensive ability of when you eventually transform into Quirks Unleashed, giving something flash on play, drawing a card, reducing its speed, combined with infinite potential, Airy Smiles block would be very good. But we're immediately kicking things off. Matt Childress playing the first attack of this game in top 16, and it's a tournament advance.
That's the best lead-off attack this deck has against Deku, because guess what? You can't get this below 6 speed, even if you have your enhance up.
Or 6 damage, right?
Yeah.
We checked a 5 on it, so we're going to be sitting pretty. We're able to get a momentum from the Blitz ability. We have a finally free that was been built.
Yep.
And so we're going to be able to get another momentum. And so we're already going to be able to hopefully get +4 to our check across this entire turn as Matt Childress. And so depending on how many attacks, we're going to probably be able to play at least 3 of them.
Oh, yeah. We're going to gain, and the thing is, we have a line for 2 momentum here. Like, we get to determine advanced blitz for the momentum, and we get to finally free for this. And then we can draw a card if we want. So we can stretch
Yeah, and we're currently explaining the stage right now for Mitchell's side, at least for Matt. You know, the only relevant real card here is we have a Desperate Plea. If we pull off a block, we can build it down face up or face down. We have a Street Hero, which is only live if you successfully played 2 blocks this turn. Of course, a Moment of Normalcy, and then we have 2 Zero Diffs that don't actually have any text in our stage.
Yep.
But we're going to go ahead. This is a 6 mid for 9 currently. Not really a lot of stat manipulation going on, but we are going to spend 1 momentum, it looks like, for +2 to our next check to play a card. And that way we still have 1 momentum, like you said, going forward. It could be even something like an Unfazed coming next.
Oh, yeah. I think the hand, I looked at the hand here. It looks like he's got double Titan Cliff.
Ooh, that'll be a good one to play, but this is going to help deter that. This is exactly what we talked about. This is a half block for the Ares Smiles, but pulling this block off means that that +2 to your check is going to get eaten up by not an attack card. Ares Smile says you must play a non-attack card as your next form or pass your turn, Jesse.
But looking at Matt, he could just build, he could build 1, he could build 3 here.
Yeah, it's going to eat up that check. So it was on a 2, and we checked a 7, you know, which, you know, a little frustrating if you're the Godzilla player. You basically spent a momentum and got counterplayed so that you weren't able to continue attacking at least aggressively. And now if he wants to play an attack, it's on a 6, 7, 8. He did check a 6, though, so...
They're verifying he's... you don't get +2 there.
Yeah, wait, did we fail the... Oh, the Ares Smile is... Oh, we built it down. I was like going to say...
Yeah.
Yeah, so Godzilla specifically says, you know, Godzilla, we have to spend a momentum, and we are next check... Oh, it is an attack. It's a hack card. You're right. I'm so wrong.
It's not card. I'm like, I thought...
It is card.
It's attack or block.
So it does work on blocking, but you're right. Weaving in the foundation just makes our turn harder. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily stop everything. But because we checked that 6 and it actually was an 8, even if we had checked a 3 there, we would have to tap out completely, basically. Yeah. But that's what Mitchell was hoping for, and that's not what we got here specifically. But the Titan Cliff going to be able to build in a 6 check. We just checked 1. And then also review up to 3 cards from our hand and draw 3 new ones.
We're going to put it back to we're going to put this Titanfall back to print in. We're going to cycle, do a little review in here.
Yeah, I mean, the question is... Probably just get rid of some foundations to find better ones. I don't know how many more attacks we plan on playing because we do have 3 cards in our card pool now. Even if you spend this momentum, if it's something like that second Titan Cliff that you know that he has, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you check a 5, it's 5, 6, 7. You'd have to tap almost everything. You know, you have your character and 1 foundation left. But it would be very aggressive and help get more damage on the board as that Titan Cliff connects, knocking Mitchell down to 18 life. This first game could be going quickly.
I mean, right now, I'm on the... We go for it. Like
we didn't spin the momentum, though, did we? Or no, we did. We built a finally free and got a bonus one.
Yeah, we go for this.
Yeah, so on a 6, 7, 8, 9, we're looking for a 5 or a 6 here. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 if we tap down Godzilla as well. So this is for sure probably the last attack for this turn. But it is going to still be a 5 high for 9.
Yeah, we're going to definitely put Mitchell in on the swing back here. Now we're looking at what we can build. We got it finally free. I think we take the finally free.
It's just the best foundation, right? I mean, that is why people are playing this deck, especially going back to Titan Cliffs, right?
Yep.
Whether you're on Chaos or Earth, it just builds
We're going to maximize damage, I think.
Yeah, give it +1/+1, you know, absorb and normal. So if you can flip it over, as long as the difficulty of the attack is high enough, you're allowed to give +1/+1.
I think we're just trying to get that. Yep, we're going to make -3 speed.
-3 from the Midoriya Enhance. You're allowed to commit any foundation for that. And so we are going to potentially try and block this. 2 high, not very fast. Even with this absorbability normal for 3 high for 10.
Yep.
But you know, I wonder, did we use our only high block when we did that partial with the Ares Smile? Are we still going to take half here maybe and still give another momentum to Godzilla?
Oh, we're going to review 1. We read the airship. Okay, I see that. That's a good line.
3 diff, a little harder to play right now with 4 cards in our pool.
So
Yeah,
we'll
tapped
see.
out.
We're just verifying. Is this active?
Ooh,
No,
okay. That's not bad. So, we're using the other Midoriya ability, at least on the front side, is a defensive one that basically before the block step, you can discard a Vestige card, which we pitched a Fajin. I think he's the 4th wheeler or something like that, and you can reduce his damage to 1. So only having to take 1 there, going to 17. And that will be the
Yeah.
end of Matt's second turn. Again, that was only turn
Yeah.
2, and we have already gotten Midoriya down to 17.
Here's the thing is, like, I think with looking at this hand, we have a Visage, so we have but I think we need to flip because we don't have the zone change for Eerie Smiles, so we gotta hope he leads with a high here.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Once I think he's looking at the discard pile. How many of those Lowe's attacks have we already gone through? Smashing Stomp in his discard pile. But like you said, we know that there's like Walk the Dog at some point.
Yeah.
If you commit 3 of those foundations right now to transform, you have led an opportunity for Matt Childress to be able to play a Walk the Dog at least on a 5.
Yeah, that's the big. Yeah, there's no re-readies here. Like it's not there's no divine stances on the board to help out with this situation.
I think there's just a world where you stay as the frontside Midoriya and block well, right?
Yep.
I mean, how many more attacks is Matt going to be able to play next turn? He has a ton of momentum, so whatever he draws, he will be able to play.
Yeah, he's the one thing about Mitchell really when Mitchell's in top guts, I always notice he definitely takes his time. He evaluates because he'll look at somebody's deck list when you have access to a deck list and you've looked at it. He's like, all right, what's the number on this expectation? Like how many of these lower attacks are left? And you got to match that number. Be ready for it. Looks like we are gonna go over.
Valuing the flash response over commit a foundation for -3 speed, at least on defense. It makes sense. I understand. But it is going to be very difficult to survive here as you've now committed 3 of your foundations. We're trying to replace them, of course, by building 3 more, one of which, I will note, another copy of Street Hero.
Yep.
But that Aaron sidestep that we ended up building, we have to pull off a complete block for that bonus draw to happen. And remember, we will also have the ability of our character to draw us another card on defense. So we built 3. We have the potential to get like 5 cards in our hand total for blocking, but as we pass back to Matt, it's really up to him for a potential turn 3 win here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of gas. I think the thing is, I got a quick glimpse of his hand. I only think he has one. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3.
What do you think's the play? We have double Walk the Dog. Obviously, the Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken could be absolutely massive.
I missiled the Walk the Dog. There's no zone change.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, and it's just on a 5, right? So,
Yep.
But I think it looks like we built that horrifying realization that we weaved in. We're going to go ahead and press that button. We did discard a foundation. Mitchell also discarded a foundation, which means there's extra text on Horror's side. You have to commit one. So we basically just stunned our opponent right off the get-go again, which now means that those Walk the Dogs are actually on 4s.
Yeah, I think we just go double low here. I think we go Smashing Stomp into Walk the Dog.
And it just also sets you up of you're going to be able to draw 1 card off the first one and draw 2 on the second one.
Yep.
You're going to be able to find out more options, but instead the Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken coming in first, it's going to be a 4 high for 9. And the question here is, Mitchell, do we flash this one or do we let Matt selectively commit and freeze any one of our foundations? And it looks like we are getting the flash. Swapping over for the Quirks Unleashed says, response commit, after your rival plays an attack, speed to 0 and draw a card, skip its enhanced step. But this is a high attack one, like you said. So now this Aries Smiles is going to work. And we have successfully played 1 block as Mitchell, which matters because we have double Street Hero in our card pool. Weaving in a foundation, we got that pass through walls for Matt. So the question is, are we going to continue to play another thing? Matt didn't spend a momentum, I'm pretty sure, to give +2 to his next check.
He couldn't, and he's flashed.
Oh, you're right. That makes sense.
Yeah, we go double low. We double low here.
Yeah, Smashing Stomp on a 5/6/7, checks a 5/6/7. So that's the best scenario for Matt here. And now with this low attack, Mitchell has to have a block for it, and I believe we do.
You have one. You have 1 low block.
Yeah, and the question is, though, is we can use it again if we leave it in our card pool. We don't have a momentum, right? I believe it's the, that's what I thought it was. It is that Return of the Kings, which has an ability for you to build it down after you block with it. But I think you just keep it in your card pool because Street Hero will let us have a repeatable low block if we leave it there.
Yeah, he's got 2 high blocks and the +2. He's got good zone protection, but if he just goes double low, I think he's gonna pressure here. Like you go lows and mids, because that's like. They're expecting you to there's mostly got the strongest attacks are on high, but you want to value down this and get like, hey, we want to get our next check +1. we're going to get it +3. So we pretty much ignore progressive for the next one. And if it hits, he lets us hit for 9. I almost want to, like, I almost want to bait the I almost want to use them. We have so much momentum. I would use the momentum to speed this up on EX. And then you more like bait them, have them like, hey, moment morality has to be used. You have to start paying out your lines.
I don't think it's a bad call for sure, right? I think moment of normalcy. We've talked about this, I think, a little bit yesterday, right? Moment of normalcy is one of the not as strong cards against Godzilla because you're typically only giving like +3 damage, or like with a City Rampage, you're giving +1, +4. But you're right, like you are allowed to spend them on whether it's EX on this card or even Determined Advance has EX or Powerful from the Walk the Dog. I wonder if Matt wants to save at least a little bit of that momentum for something like the Powerful ability on Walk the Dog, at least maybe
True.
one of them.
When he has the opening.
Yeah, exactly. Like once we get a couple of resources used here from Mitchell, but that Aaron sidestep coming in here, -2 speed, and basically telling Matt, hey, I think I do have the full block for this one, you know. So the question now becomes,
He has double Walk the Dog in hand, actually.
yeah, it's two of them, yeah. And so the question is now is, does Matt commit more resources to give this more speed? We've only committed 2 foundations across our entire turn. We're going to have +3 to our check as we've spent 1 momentum already with the Godzilla ability, and of course the +1 to our check with the Smashing Stomp. So how easy do you want this block to be for Mitchell? He has a card in his own card pool, but there's no other speed hate that's going to be happening, at least at this moment, for Mitchell's side of the board.
Also, the thing is yep, here we go.
On a 6.
Yep.
Checks a 6, actually.
Yep.
So we're going to draw a card off the top. Yeah, so -2 speed, and we get our draw here because we blocked it completely, and we are going to leave this low block in our card pool so that now Street Hero, which we have 2 of them, by the way, are live.
That's
so
true.
At any point, if Matt plays another high attack or another low attack, we now have just extra cards in our card pool that we can clear progressive and use them again as blocks.
Yep. Yeah, this is where Street Hero was a big addition to this deck. I was talking with Corey Nelson, who came in second at Toronto, and he was playing 1 in Toronto, and I'm like, and now this weekend he said you want up to 4 between main and side, and he's like, it was a night and day difference.
Yeah, Determined Advance being the choice here as the next attack on a 6, 7, 8, 9. We checked a 6 with +3 to our check total, so we had to commit 3 more of our foundations. Now there's 5 of the committed foundations here for Matt. Blitz, we are going to get another momentum, and remember this one, also scary because it can't ever go below 6 mid for 6 due to its static ability, but we are going to go ahead and spend another one of these momentums to give +2 to our next check to play a card, and we're still sitting on 3 momentum. Because remember, at any point if we play something like one of those Walk the Dogs, we have powerful 3 on it. So even though we haven't dealt any damage right now, 17 is a lot easier to get to when you have 3 momentum and powerful 3 on a move.
Sure is. Looks like we are going to fire off and pick up
the Aries Smile. It makes sense. You can't necessarily completely block this one because we have a lot of highs and low blocks, but the Aries Smile block ability will help slow down this offense from Godzilla once again. Yeah. So again, it's a 6 mid. The Aries block plus the card in our progressive, it's going to be on like a 9. But we have the foundations to pass a check for it.
I think this is now where we fire off the EX on the Determined Advance. Like bring it up and just like bring it back. It's gonna like I'm making you commit a foundation, and now this is possibly failable.
It is 100%. I mean, it even currently is failable, right?
Yes.
If you check a 3, it fails, right? It's it is on a 9, right? Aries Smile has a +2 block or +1?
+2.
Yeah. So on a 9, if you use an EX, you get the moment of normalcy out of the way, which means there's only 4 ready foundations to deal with. The block is still going to be on a 9. It basically asks Mitchell, hey, you have to check a 5 here, but it could be the end or not the end of Matt's turn if this Aries Smiles does go off.
That is true. Like we're.
Oh, here it is. We're gonna press it once. It looks like.
Yes, that's the right amount.
EX3 and then another choice here. Another copy of Street Hero to clear the progressive difficulty, so that now you have less difficulty on your own block. Now the moment of normalcy plus that means we can fail the block.
True.
But that's only if we press the button on the moment of normalcy.
Yeah, because right now we're blocking on 11. We have to actually press the normalcy button.
If we want to block this one
If we wanna block.
specifically, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, or do we take 9? It's like, do we do this or take 9? Like, it's...
9's a lot. I think I even looked at the hand. I think we ended up drawing a sweeping dagger on the side for Mitchell, so we do have a 1 mid if we want to just save our life total instead of the block trick.
Yep. That's a decision we got to make. He's got to make here in this. He's doing the math. He's putting the numbers together.
I mean, he's figuring it out, right? I mean, because you have to think on the other side of the board state. From what Mitchell sees is my opponent has +2 to their check to play an attack card.
Yep.
With 2 ready foundations in their Godzilla. What attack could it be that would kill me or be passable with 4 cards in the card pool if I don't Aries Smile, but instead I just fully block it? If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't fully block it, the block trick, the Aries Smile, will help because there will be a 5th card in the card pool. The +2 to your check to play an attack card probably won't matter as much, but there it is. There is the moment of normalcy, and now Mitchell can block with whatever he wants.
Yes.
And basically, I think even on a 3 check, it will be okay.
Yeah, it's a 7. We took a set. We're getting it to 7 or an 8.
8,
So-
3, 4. Okay, so it is actually still failable on a 3. Okay, yeah, the 8 math, even minus the 1 progressive. I was thinking you had to check a 5,
Yeah.
but technically you're allowed to check a 4, I guess.
Yeah.
And we do play those.
I think he's making the decision of do we block with the sweeping dagger?
Yeah, just to guarantee the health total. It
Because
is-
I think he wants the dagger for something to push with next. He needs to start. He'll probably go like pump once, pump twice. I mean, you'll do a 2 pump and see what happens.
I will say, due to this counterplay, though, I was saying how Walk the Dog could be lethal with that 3 momentum we had, but because we did have to force the EX out, 1 copy of the Walk the Dog isn't lethal.
You got the block.
Yeah, we got the 1 mid, and we checked it just fine. Keeping 2 of our foundations ready, although I don't think we're going to be able to block basically anything else this turn. But fully blocking there, staying at 17. Mitchell hasn't taken any damage this turn and is playing very good defense.
Yeah. Now this is going to go on a 7.
4, 5, 6, 7, +2 to our check. 6, 7, 8. Very much over checking it.
All
And
right.
we still have 2 momentum here. This is going to draw us 1 card from an enhance. Stun 1. Relevant, but
Stun 1 is someone and in all minds it's relevant or irrelevant, but this is a 6 low for now.
yeah, we're already not blocking this
Yeah.
one, especially because we know that Mitchell has that +3 low block, which is basically unplayable at this point.
Yeah.
But still, for 9 damage minimum, I think the question here now is Matt just has to help his check out a little bit more, and then we can play a second Walk the Dog, and it would be lethal, right?
Yep.
I think that's exactly what we're going to be looking for. I think the powerful on this attack is kind of negligible because this is the easiest attack to play in your deck already because
Yep.
it's a 4 diff technically. But +2 to our check, again, means that as long as 1 more attack gets played, it will be the end of this game.
How many What the Dogs is Matt playing? He's playing 2 or 3?
As I scroll up, he's playing 2 copies in the main board and no extra copies in the
Yeah,
side.
So he just literally found both of
He
them.
found them both. So, 6 low for 9 at this moment. Mitchell, almost no hope of blocking this one. And once that enhanced for that +2 to check, which has already happened, we're going to throw away this low block, just let it fail, and say, yeah, man, I'll take the 9, and I hope that you check poorly 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mitchell's
There we go.
only hope was a 3 check.
Yep.
And so game 1, Matt Childress taking it down with a very, very strong turn 2, followed up with an incredible turn 3 offensive line.
Yep.
Game 1 win.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those decks that's just really good. Like, this is like one of those matchups where it's just like, hey, you could have everything and you still don't have enough because it's just the
Yep.
damage output is so ridiculous.
But it also just makes me wonder, like, I wonder if there was a world where if we did the partial for
Eerie Smile.
let me think. Let me go back. I'm gonna. So we were at 17.
Yep.
If you partial the determined advance, 6, 7, 8, 9, you take 5. You go to 12. I guess at the end of the day, it still didn't matter because I think you do the partial as long as Matt has a non-attack
did.
card in his hand, which he did. You weave it in between, and you play the Walk the Dog on a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you have +2 to your check. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We probably tapped out for it
Yeah.
if you checked a 5.
You would check the 6, check the 5.
Yeah, so
That's-
he passed the foundation around the 6. He would have checked the 5, which is enough. He tapped the 2 foundations in Godzilla, and so with that, you can actually. And because they took half on the determined advance, the powerful would still be lethal anyway. So checks went Matt's way. We got there at the end because that 3 check was basically what Mitchell was relying on. And like you said, we played as good defense as we could have. Still didn't quite get there. But going into game 2, Mitchell's going to be able to go first. It definitely helps establish the board state a little bit better for Midoriya on the move. But then we have to think about the other side of the question. If Godzilla ever falls super behind, we do have that powerful once per game to reset the board state.
Yep. Let's take a look at what we got for Mitchell on the side here. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if the violent enemy shots just come in for high blocks. Or low blocks.
Yeah, and breaker, right? It has breaker on it.
Yep. Frantic Rescues. This is one of those, I think it's a debated card in this, like, because you have to take an unlock damage, and everything's a minimum. Like, even with reductions, you're looking at 6 on average, so it's not really great, but...
I think one of the biggest things I've seen is I do think Frantic Rescue has a place to work, but it's if you stay on the front side of Midoriya.
Yep.
If you stay on the front side and you do the Vestige response, where you set something's damage to 1, you take it unblocked, you can use Frantic very reliably only by losing 1 life.
Yeah.
But you have to have the Vestige in your hand. You had to have built the Frantic Rescue. But other than and those other scenarios, you're right. You're typically taking 6 or 9 damage, sometimes 10 if there's a City Rampage coming with it. But I also wonder that, I mean, he's playing some action hate. You know, there is things like stopping for breakfast that we kind of saw him
it looks
going over a little bit.
I think the fill without the Genkais are definitely coming in. Stopping with breakfast should come in because you have to have an answer to the City Rampage if they...
Yeah.
Because I think we're playing 1 breakfast main.
Yeah, we are also playing a Tattered
Tattered
Costume mains, which helps. But yeah, there is 1 copy of Stopping for breakfast.
So we're increasing our hate there. And we're just trying to, like I said, we have to play on we are going second. We're going first here, but we have to get a good double build.
It has to be a good double build, and I think genuinely you do not need to transform into Quirks Unleashed super early.
Yeah.
I think there's just a world where you use your 2-turn build to have where every single one of your foundations has the ability to say commit for -3 speed. If you just have enough cards in your hand because of the cards you built in your stage, things like Ares Smile to give you an extra card, or sorry, Aaron's Sidestep to give you an extra card if you completely block. If you have, a world where you play like a Sweeping Daggers and copy one of your opponent's moves, that could draw you a card, like a Smashing Stomp if it connects. Like, I think there's just a world where Mitchell has to do 2 things. He needs to establish a good board state and survive. He needs to have consistent ways of blocking successfully, and I think the once per turn flash response drawing a card is good, but on Matt's turn 2, how much momentum is he actually going to have?
True.
Usually it's like at max like 2, and that's if we go determine advance, get 1, pay 1, Titan Cliff, build in finally free, get 1, and if we started the game with a finally free or something like that, you could have up to like 3 momentum. But on turn 2, the checks are a little bit harder for the Godzilla deck, at least especially when they're going second. We need to establish a board state, but I also think Mitchell needs to get on the board. Yeah. Mitchell needs to get momentum because there are very powerful effects that he has access to, but he needs more momentum to do so. I think of things like Cheerleader. Cheerleader is another instance of like the backside of of Midoriya for giving flash to another thing, which is very good. Godzilla really wants an enhanced step, but you need momentum for cards like those to do anything.
Yeah, we're gonna see what Mitchell can set up here. Like I said, we need to. The thing is every time I see what happens with the Midoriya decks against Godzilla is they try for a double build, and Godzilla does the double build as well.
Yeah.
But Godzilla with a double build is is stronger than Midoriya on a double build. He has to hit he has to hit all the ready ups. He has to hit all the value cards. So
for the one-shot potential, for sure.
Yeah.
But I also just think there's a world because of cards like Hang 10 now that it's not necessarily all about just doing one giant phantom threat to try and chew through 34, because realistically 34 by turn 3 is not realistic for what the Midoriya deck kind of does, right? But you're right, you could go into a Hang 10, get in some chip damage, refund a lot of those foundations that you use to get in that damage, and Defiant Stance in your hand. I mean, these are good cards. I mean,
but look at it looks like he has it's a good hand,
but the curve is rough.
The curve is rough. Like, you're looking at two guarantees. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, just like you might have to just get a little luck here. build for 2 turns, like you said. Get
Yeah.
and like really choose which of these you value the most. So here's my question to you, because I see the Masho's Concealment, and Masho's Concealment has some real text against this deck because
Yes.
stopping like a finally free is massive.
2.
We
Okay.
did build it,
All
and
right.
now the rest of these are just like, it's just
Freed.
lucky or not. I get
Okay.
it. So
We got a 4 build out of
build
that.
4,
That's
all with 2 diffs or higher, is very good. And so I think Matt's going to have to do a similar response as he reviews a pass through walls, trying to draw a couple of better ones. Getting a 1 diff and a 0 diff right there is actually pretty big,
That's,
because he's going to have like a guaranteed build 4 here no matter what.
Yep.
Titan's Pursuit with the Moment of Normalcy coming out as well. He might even risk it here. Yeah, pass through walls on a 4, checks a 5. Incredible. He could potentially build 6 here depending on these checks. Wow. On a 4. Checks on a 5.
Go for it. Go for
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Just really, yeah. So fails on the last one, of course. Build 5, though. Incredibly strong here.
Can you scroll Matt's list really quick? Because where is he? Oh, there's the unyielding instruction. Scroll down.
Yeah, so they're in his sideboard.
They're in
He's
his
playing-
sideboard.
Yeah, he's playing
yeah,
2 of them
I'm
in his sideboard.
I'm like-
And I think it just helps because, like, you have the
Oh.
once per game, but you don't necessarily always have the right opportunity to use it,
Yeah.
whereas unyielding just works with the deck so well. Because you can play it as, like, your 3rd attack as Godzilla when you've already committed less than 4 of your ready foundations, basically,
So
and you
good.
just get the value of resetting your opponent's stage, and you just get to keep going because it's a 5 diff, and you still get the plus to your checks to keep going.
I'm gonna sound real. Pop-up's gonna sound really old at the moment, but like we had, see, way back in the day, in the legacy era of this game, all of our big foundation blow-up cards, they weren't first forms. You could go play at a turtle turret and then just blow up the world
Yeah.
and be like, go, or
Yeah.
build, or like stream out 4 foundations, blow up the world, go. I'm like,
But I do like what's going on here, at least in the sense for Mitchell. We're playing a Sweeping Daggers, and there is actually a world where we copy the Unyielding and go reset Matt down to 4 foundations, and it wouldn't do anything to
no, we're gonna
to Mitchell. But yeah, we're going to be grabbing this Titan Cliff instead, which gains all the text of that card. So we have I use the word, we've stickered the text of Titan Cliff, which is going to allow us to build a 6 check from our discard pile into our stage, and also we can review up to 3 cards and then draw that many that we reviewed. So I think we're looking to use that ability right now.
I think that's a good decision.
And I
here.
think we want to get rid of the 0 diff for sure. That is a 6 check. That is one guarantee that we are able to build off of the Titan Cliff Enhance. But we're going to do for a full mulligan of 3 cards.
That's a 5. It's a 0-5. The progressive,
I thought it was a 6.
the non-progressive.
What am I
no.
thinking of? There's another one with the block trick on like the good symbol. Spirit Beast Poo.
Poo.
That's what it is.
That's the one.
It kind of has a weird block thing too. Right? That
Yes.
one builds down. This one ignores progressive.
Yep.
But you're right. I thought it was a 6 though. So instead, we are going to send it. It does connect, which gives us a momentum. I think that's huge.
Here we go.
And then we have Heroic Passion coming down, Aaron's Sidestep. And then the question is, how many more cards do we build and or block with? We're going to go ahead and build down one of those. It's called Jin's something.
Yeah, it's
I'll find it. Jin's Parry.
Yes.
So yeah, no 6 check for us to build from that Titan Cliff copy, but now we have these, and we are maybe making the decision: do we want to transform into the other side of Midoriya? All of our checks went well. All of our stuff is ready. You're basically going to have to decide what you want to give up, and it looks like he wants to get. Yeah, it looks like he's going to choose to get rid of the Mashos and one of the Aaron Sidestep to transform into Midoriya. Defiant Stance will refund itself, so you only really committed 2 to do so. Build 3 down and take a momentum is a better state that we were ever in Game 1, I will say. But I wonder, again, depending on how powerful this offense is from Matt on his turn 2, if there was maybe just a world where we should have stayed on the front side for repeatable minus speed, and you would have saved all of those foundations.
Yeah, let's see what Matt's got here. I'm looking. I just had a glimpse of that, and I think he's just got 1 attack in a pile. Like I almost send the build and see hey, do you have another sweep? Like the problem is if he has a sweeping for with the unyielding like that in both sides, that's not good. Not a good situation.
Yeah, it is definitely hard. I don't think there's a world where Matt presses the board reset. Is there even enough foundations in play right now?
One, two, three, four.
Matt
Oh,
has
there's more than
5.
enough. There's more than
Yeah,
enough.
Matt has 5. So and Mitchell just built upwards to 7, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there are for sure enough of them. I just think if you do it, you are just telling Mitchell that you went second again,
Yeah.
right? Because you have 2 foundations in your stage. But I do agree with you. I do like the idea of you just slamming all of these foundations and just like challenging Mitchell that he can't do 29 more.
Yeah. We've got build 3.
Build 3 is fine too. Respectful, I
Yep.
think, is the word to use there. And we have momentum generation now in our stage with the finally free. But now Mitchell has access to that Masho's concealment. At least that was the opportunity where Matt would have been able to play something like a Titan Cliff to build that in for free and use it right away. Now that's not the case. Now we have a Masho's concealment that has an answer to it. As we pass back to Mitchell and seeing something like a Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken in your hand as well, makes me think that we might try and do a little bit more disruption and maybe less about trying to do a giant swing out with all the form stacks of Midoriya.
Looks like we got some updates over from next door.
That feels fast. But
I
okay.
know. Well, they're 2 of the faster matches. Henry C. Has taken down Ryan Field.
So Pony Tsunotori moving on to top 8.
Yep.
On the other symbol, taking down one of the Godzillas.
Yes. And then George has sent Tam Data out of the tournament, which...
Yeah, so Porco Galliard moving on from George, defeating one of the Han Zoes in the format.
Yep.
It looks like both of those were 2-0s.
Yes.
No.
That was
They played 3 games for the Pony versus Godzilla match. But yeah, still making a decision here for Mitchell, figuring out what we want to play, what is the right call. And we are going to press at least one of the form buttons for everybody at home. Form, commit 2 foundations. Your next attack gets +3 speed and +3 damage. And we did commit, of course, that Heroic Passion and then also the Defiant Stance. So it's draw 1 card when you do it and then also refund that Defiant Stance. Violent Animus Shot is the attack coming in here, which tells me that we did bring in probably an extra copy or 2, or it's just the ones that we have in the main board, of course. +3/+3 on it feels really good. No backup in play for the Blitz, of course, but that responsibility that says if you don't block this, I'm going to stop you from trying to sculpt ever so slightly.
Yeah, this is if it deals.
Yeah,
right?
if it deals, yeah. So you either get a high block out of their hand, which was maybe something they wanted anyway, or you could randomly remove one of their attack cards they're trying to sculpt with, or something like a City Rampage that they wanted to hold on to. So it is a very powerful card, but there are answers on Matt's side of the board to deal with this. It only got +3/+3, and we have things like Moment of Normalcy if we wanted to use it and reset it back down. We even have things like Inspiring Song, where we could make Mitchell's next check poor if we, think he's going to keep going on the aggression, or you can just use him defensively to help you give +2 to your check to play a block.
Yeah, this is a tough choice here on how we're gonna dance this. I think we should be using the finally free.
Just to get the Mashas out, make
just-
them tap a foundation.
Yeah, like hey, we're just gonna eat it.
We are eating it to the face, going to 21, and we're going to randomly remove Absorb of the Abnormal, low block, whatever.
Fine.
Couldn't help us anyway. So it's just one of those things.
Are we gonna see that it just build like 2 of these?
We have another Heroic Passion, yeah.
I know.
The bad news is that we can't really use the Heroic Passions on defense, right? Because as the Quirks Unleashed side, we don't have any way of committing them at enhanced speed or response speed, right?
Okay, I'm just gonna say that this is the decision I don't see a lot of Midoriyas do.
Yeah.
Turn back over.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's a real decision, especially now that Matt's down to 21. It's a lot easier to do 21 without needing all the form stacks.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I think that's a real choice to do.
Yeah, we could have just formed and flipped over and be like, hey, I'm going to do this side for this. And then you just have literally -3 speed draw a card
Yeah.
on face. And it's a move that I just don't.
It's more than that, too,
Yeah.
remember? Because we
Well,
have the Defiant Stance.
Yeah.
That one counts as 2.
Yep.
And so that one says this foundation commits for -6 speed across 2 things. It is a real choice to do, and I think you're right. I mean, I think there has to be, regardless. I think Mitchell's playing this game, too, incredibly well. Going first helps a lot. I think now it's a situation where Matt's going to feel like, man, like, do I have to reset the board state? And if I do, what is the next play? How do we continue to keep going? But regardless of what happens in this game, if we go to a game 3, Jesse, there has to, I can only imagine there has to be some sort of adaptation from Mitchell's gameplay on how to survive when Matt's the one that has the pressure of being able to attack first and get on the board. So
is Matt playing promotion in his list?
I think he's been I know there's at least
Three.
three copies in his sideboard.
Okay. He's doing the sideboard play for it.
Yeah, so I think it just kind of depends on the matchup. But instead, leading things off here with a determined advance for Matt. This is the first attack for Matt in this game, which means the first form from Godzilla is not happening.
Yep.
And instead, we are going to try and do some aggression. No flash response here from Midoriya. So this is going to blitz, give us a momentum, and we have a 6 mid for 6. Or 6 mid for 9, sorry, because of the Godzilla stats. And the decision here is how much resources are you going to be able to get out of Mitchell in this turn?
So we got we got through the Macho's concealment.
Yeah, Macho's canceling that finally free, which means if we ever want to use something like that again, we need to have something like a Titan Cliff that will help us build one in from our discard pile, which is a good use of the Machos in my opinion.
Yep.
This is also interesting as well. Again, I brought this one up during we were talking about the decks a little bit. Titan's Pursuit is in Matt's stage. So Titan's Pursuit says after your attack is completely blocked, I think it's actually if it's just blocked, but
bring it up.
After your attack is blocked, you get to snag a momentum.
Yeah.
It's completely blocked, okay? So if at any point Mitchell wants to deny snap momentum generation, you have to partially block moves or take the damage from stuff. So if not, this determined advance will actually generate 2 momentum depending on how much you value your life total. And so I'm a big fan of this one because it's also attuned. You can just play it in any symbol on Godzilla. But it looks like
we'll go +2.
Yeah, spend that momentum that we just got. Says, I would like to play another one, please. And we're going to get the block here. Partial with the Return of the Kings.
Yep.
And we do have momentum now. So we are going to be able to spend one and build this down into our stage to give an additional resource for Mitchell. Reevaluating which cards we want to commit here. But we have the cool block trick. Yeah, spend one of these momentum and build it down. Clears progressive on the block, and then also builds you a foundation. It's kind of like a 2-for-1.
That also has
Commit for -2 speed.
My suitor block mod.
Yeah, sorry. It's the same idea.
That card's really good against determined advance.
It is very good against determined advance because it actually works.
Yes.
But it wasn't completely blocked, which means everything I just said about Titan's Pursuit didn't matter.
Yep.
But we did connect, of course, and if that's the goal of what Matt is trying to do this turn, of just like soften up Midoriya a little bit, then I think it was a little successful. And we have already spent that momentum, of course, so we are going to have plus to our check to play this Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken on a 5/6, and it checks, and so we are good to go on that one. The question is, do you flash this one if you are Mitchell?
Yeah.
I think you just deny the enhanced step, keep your stage alive. Because I'd be afraid of my stopping for breakfast getting committed and frozen for obviously not this turn, but next turn.
And the thing is, Mitchell's board sitting to the point where it's like, okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 activations. Like he's at the Phantom Threat range.
Yeah, especially now when Matt's at 21.
Yeah.
I think for sure it is a world where if Mitchell draws them. Because remember, this deck plays less attacks, at least like percentage-wise.
Yes.
And it's a little larger. I think Mitchell's playing a 70-card deck.
Looks like we're going to let this go, and we're going to commit and freeze the sidestep.
Yeah, one of the sidesteps locked down, and then the other sidestep getting used for -2 speed. And if Mitchell completely blocks it, he will draw a card, which I think is very important for when it comes to trying to sculpt a little bit better to do the thing we just said, which is hopefully win on his next turn.
Yep.
But yeah, going to the enhanced step to make that possible, I think very good. And we are going to start using some inspiring songs, mill 3 after we flip this, and then we will see the decision that Matt makes about either giving his check +1 or his rival's next check -1. We'll see what it is once we get the little... Oh, rival check -1 is what we have decided. So we are trying to make this a little faster. So we basically said flip 1 for +1 speed. But for a 2 high for 9 right now, it's still very blockable, even on a 3. It's just tap 1 foundation, which we flipped for the effect of Aaron's sidestep anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna normal see this in any way. Like it's not really like unless
Oh, the offensive normalcy.
yeah, like unless he activates the nice try, I wouldn't. There's no reason to normal see this. Like you're just gonna accept it.
And I think Mitchell has an Aries Smiles block.
Sure does.
So like this, we don't have any more momentum for Godzilla, and and Mitchell is going to tell him you have to play a non-attack card as your next form. So, and here comes another instance of inspiring song. So the question is, yep, okay. So we're essentially saying +2 speed. So it kind of negates the Aaron sidestep minus speed ability. But like you said, we do still have access to this nice try or the return to the Kings for even extra help.
Yeah. I think he's thinking about the Return of the Kings just because it can't be That's not something that can be
It's not
interacted
with a moment of normalcy. Yeah, because I do agree with you. If we go to -4 speed on this, there's probably a world where you reset it back to base speed, and then the inspiring songs are still live, and your rival committed a foundation.
Yep. So it looks like we're gonna get the -2 to our block mod.
Yeah. I do hope he moves it away from that frozen tag because I don't want us to think that card got frozen.
Yep.
Yeah, block modifier -2 for Mitchell. It is allowed to go negative. So, of course, even if you use something like a +1 block modifier, it would actually go to a -1 block modifier, which helps your math even more.
I've always thought it would be funny if at some point in time a card gets printed with a negative block mod.
That would be really cool.
And people just like, what is this? And they're like, you put it on like some attack that's like a 1-check 10 difficulty, and like, what is it? It has a -2 block mod. And you're like, what the?
Yeah, it always gives minus speed.
Yep.
Basically,
yeah,
right?
essentially, yeah.
That is uninteractable typically. Man, that card would be really bad against Besiege, though.
Oh yeah, it'd be awful against Besiege. But it'd just be like this, like, how do you make these giant cards people want to play them? Like, you give them negative block mods.
Or like a 2-check or a 1-check that could do it.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
I'm going to go here. We're thinking what we're going to do here on this.
Yeah, I think we are still...
we're posturing. Yep. We're going to set it now and say, hey, do you want to use your nice try? And go down to another foundation.
It's a real choice, but I think about still the math, right? Okay, so at this point now, it is a 4 high for 9. Mitchell has -2 to his check, but -2 to his next check, but -2 to his block modifier. So that's just cancel out.
Yep.
So no, right now the block math is just what the numbers are.
Yep.
Which again, because it's just a 4-speed move, everything is blocked. So this is going to be on a 6 basically, and these just cancel each other out. So he checks a 4. Is that what 4 check? No, it is a 5. Yeah, it's a 5. So it's just tap 1 foundation here. And we are going to be able to pull off this completely block for the Aries Smile, and then also flip a foundation. But we have to draw our card from the Aaron's, which is where that came from, right there. So we could use a sidestep still at the beginning of this. All this is going to go away. We did completely block the move, though, so that Titan's Pursuit is going to come in. But we've already now left the enhanced step, so we can't obviously grease up our check, and we have to now play a non-attack card as our next form.
Yep. We'll just build the 1/6 here.
Swallow by the normal.
Yep.
Or by an abnormal.
And now we decide this is the tough one. We press the button and keep going.
So we have a walk the dog.
We have a walk the dog.
It is a 4 diff. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7.
4, 5, 6, 7, yes. Checks a 5, which is only committing 2 of our foundations here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What did I do wrong?
This is a 4.
5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. I think we just overtapped.
I think so.
No, I think we're right. Sorry. He already had 1 tapped, right?
Yeah.
From when we played Determine, we enhanced on moment. We only tapped 2. We're good. Okay, we're okay.
I think I'm stacking them up properly. Right?
I might have mixed it up with his hand for a second. But regardless, here we have a 6 low for 9 coming in. And, it feels like even with the Aries Smile, we haven't really stopped our opponent from continuing attacking us. And my question now is, do we press the Midoriya responsibility of just giving this flash? Deny the draw, deny the stun, deny the spending the momentum for plus to the check, or even a powerful?
Yeah, I think we're checking the yard here. We're seeing how many attacks we have left. We're trying to decide if hey, do we just try to missile this in for powerful? Do we? It looks like we have no more gas.
I think the biggest thing for me is I don't know what Mitchell's blocks are, but it looks like we are choosing not to flash this one. So we have gone to the enhanced step. The stun 1 has occurred. The draw 1 has occurred. Mm-hmm. We are just staring across a nice try and a ready to Midoriya Quirks Unleashed.
I think we gotta. I think we have to do this line where we have to. I would rather throw the momentum on this and just get in for 12, and be like, all right, I'm taking half of where you're at, and go from there. Like, and see if you
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, soften it up. We've definitely used a lot of resources, in my opinion. If you're mad,
And be like, all right, I'm taking half of where you're at, and go from there. Like, and see if you
yeah,
have it.
yeah, soften it up. We've definitely used a lot of resources, in my opinion. If you're mad, in the sense of we've played 4 cards this turn. We've only drawn 1. We are going to spin the momentum for the powerful. That is exactly what you said. I think that's a very good call because this one didn't get flashed. It's 6 speed base plus the card in the card pool. Even with the nice try, it would put it down to 4, 5 plus the block modifier. I think it's pretty unblockable unless you have something like a +1 low. But as you know, we've already played the Violent Animus shot that we
Just
played.
gonna eat it.
Yeah, so we're going to take it straight to the face, going down to 12. But I think Mitchell can see a world where he can win next turn as long as he just draws an impactful enough attack with enough Midoriya forms. Because now I don't think, Matt's not going to be able to play another move after this. He's going to take his money and run, 2 momentum, build 1 foundation because we had to weave it in. And now we have 5 readied foundations and Godzilla available to us as we pass back to Mitchell.
And Mitchell's once again checking. I think he's deciding if he wants to review.
Yeah, I mean, so we have 1 frozen foundation, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 foundations.
Yep.
One of which is Defiant Stance that refunds itself for a bonus, right?
Mm-hmm. So, right now we have. We're gonna be in 8 hand size next turn, if we want.
The Heroic Passions, when you're committed for the form abilities, will draw us bonus cards.
Yeah, and then we can go commit 3 for essentially +6/+6 because of the Defiant Stance numbers as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's time. Yep, I think it's time
There
to
it is.
review this.
Review this. Keeps the Aries Smile in hand that we, I guess we had a bonus one of those.
Yes.
We blocked with 1 and we had one in our hand.
Yep, we
We're
did.
going to draw 5 here, and then hopefully we draw something to help win us the game. Winged Sabotage is pretty good, and then also drawing the Filled with Doubt plus the Genkai's Guidance makes you feel a little better about if it doesn't work out for you. But like you said, we're going to be able to hopefully draw 2 more cards because of the Heroic Passions, and maybe we draw something a little more impactful. I am going to pull up the Winged Sabotage just to start doing some math on will this be enough. Ooh, that one's probably better.
Yeah, now we're looking.
Yeah, we're
immediately.
looking which of these can help us win the game right here and now by copying one of our rivals' moves. I actually wonder if it's just Walk the Dog because it has powerful 3 on it.
Yeah.
And we have a momentum.
All right, we're activating again.
We're going to draw another card. Another Heroic Passion gets added to our hand. We have now stacked 2 instances of +3/+3 for +6/+6.
Now we're counting.
6. I got to think. We can do it
9,
1, 2,
12.
3 more times, which
Yeah.
would be 12 more damage. Our opponent is at 21, so you would need a 3 base damage move to get it to lethal range. And even then still, Matt could have a trick.
Yeah, I think if he has to do this and keep the breakfast up, I think it's the line here, because
And check well.
He has to do
Well, I guess it's a 4 if you can just tap Midoriya, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so you are allowed to do that. So it looks like we were picking them. So 1 more instance, 2 more instances, 3 more instances. Ooh, well, we haven't turned them sideways. As soon as we turn them sideways, though, but currently it's +6/+6. We could go up to a combined +18 to our move that we play.
Oh, I think we just do that and go with the wing nut and just be like, you have no interaction to this.
At least for enhances.
Yeah,
but again,
that's important though.
I mean, how many enhances do we have on our stage? We have 1. It's our Godzilla. Yeah. So I not really necessarily the best.
That's true
in this scenario, but it is still good because if there's an action card that would do it, but the ones that we're thinking about aren't enhances, right? But there they are. They've been turned completely sideways. +18 to the next attack that Mitchell plays. And the question is, which one will it be? We're doing a lot of organization here.
the thing is, we have a clock still. Oh, we're gonna go with the
on a 4.
Nope.
Checks a 3. So the question is, do you commit the stopping for breakfast or the Midoriya? The Midoriya commit here seems to be the play. This is a 5 mid for 4 base stats, which as it comes in with the 1818 means it will go up to 22 damage and 23 speed. Wait, did I do my math wrong?
18 plus 5 is 23.
Yeah, 23 for 22. And then the burn one also. So it's kind of like it's a 5 damage move. Did I do my math wrong? How many forms did we press?
We did 1, 2.
Sorry, okay, let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So that's 15.
Oh, okay. I did do my math wrong. It was 15.
Yeah. Yes.
So okay, so again, pick the walk the dog though,
Yep.
and then we can powerful 3 it,
Yep.
which will get us there in time. So yeah, so we just had to find the extra 3 damage, but I definitely thought we had enough forms because of the Defiant stance. But as we are staring across the board, it's funny because Matt did have a trick. He does have a dodge.
Yep.
But we, like you said,
Not a dodge. It's a runaway.
I did say that. I'm so sorry. I heard somebody, a player yesterday, call
it's
it
a
dodge. But even with the runaway, because we had that stopping for breakfast still ready in our stage, that was the only card we kept up.
Yep.
It looks like there isn't going to be an answer here for Matt. As you lose the life, you even check the 3 on the card. And then Mitchell can press the stopping for breakfast to cancel the action. And game 2 will go to Mitchell Cimino as he picks up their cards and they go to a game 3. So we've got ourselves a match.
Yes, we do. Let's take a look at the. Let's see what's going on elsewhere in the tournament. Oh, look at this. We got some.
Yeah, we got our bracket here. That's what my producer was trying to mouth to me, which is why I didn't say anything. And we do also have some updates. Jesse's got his phone out. So bracket for everybody that wants to be talked about, and we'll go down the list of things that have already happened. So at the top of the list, Gavin Cale versus Phil Birch. We have results.
Yep. Phil Birch has won 2-0.
Yeah,
2-1.
so 16th seed taking down one of the Porcos. Rodan moving on.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. So we have the up. Oh, that's so cool, guys. Okay,
Good
that was
job.
pretty cool. We then have, so these are all the updates that we currently have, which means the only 2 that we're looking for are the ones that we're watching right now, which is Matt Childress versus Mitchell Cimino, and Travis Tangeman and Andrew Marquez are still playing as well. But if we want to talk about specifically in top 8, the Porcos
moved on.
They're moving on. Both of them are coming in. And it's funny because you said the aggro 7 hand size in general, not just the Porco decks, but the Pony deck also moved on that we talked about earlier. They're going to have to fight each other.
Yep.
Coming up here with Henry Clark and Dawson Milstead. So guaranteed one of these aggro kind of 7 hand size decks moving into top 4.
Yep.
Moving further down, of course, George Rangel, as you said, winning with his Porco deck. And all the way at the bottom, Wub, Calvin Harrigal, beating Barlow Guess with this Devil Jin deck. And then also EJ Lucia on Godzilla winning over Richard Bernard. I think almost all of these Hans decks have lost except for one of these matches we're waiting on.
Yep.
4 of them converted. I think there was only like 6 in the whole tournament, Jesse.
Yep.
And I think all of them were in top 16. And immediately as they get into top cuts, they are getting eliminated.
Yep. Wow.
What a great bracket.
That was spicy, Mike. I would tell him that. I was like, ooh, we're just gonna immediately roll in.
Mike, if you have that preview or that spoiler for the Guilty Gear card, I think we have briefly enough time if you want to do it for everybody at home.
Right.
We have this exciting, intense match as our players are shuffling up to game 3, but we have a Guilty Gear Strive preview for you all right here and right now. This is Psych Burst. It's a 2 difficulty 5 check, 1 low block with the infinity symbol that says response remove after a rival plays an ability on a card in their momentum. Cancel that ability and your rival spins that card. Imagine this, within the set where we're getting momentum that has some extra text on it, even though it's a token, you can cancel it as an action card, remove this from the game, and then make them spend it. But we're also seeing some other cards in the game right now, like Bass Hyvern Chimera Kraken, that has a momentum ability that this can cancel that enhance for the 2 speed and then also make them spend it. So very cool counterplay card right here as an uncommon, even it has the infinity symbol in case things like Roman cancels get a little out of hand, right?
Yeah, definitely need something like that. Oh, man, I wish this existed during the Electric Jolt era. You're like, no.
Absolutely. I think that is exactly fair and true. But this is just the first of many reveals that we are going to have for Guilty Gear Strive today. So don't go anywhere throughout the event today. But we do have a Game 3 that we are going to be diving into very shortly. All right, so I'm going to ask you, Jesse, as our players are getting in, they're going to start looking at mulligans going through. Matt is going to be able to go first, but I think that was a very good adaptive change for Mitchell. Obviously, he went first, but the question is, what does Mitchell have to do to win this game going second, or is it just everything is going to go Godzilla's way because we're the higher seed? We got our reward. We get to go first game one, win, lose game two because we didn't go first, but we get to go get first again. What do you think is going to happen here?
I see a strong situation of. I think if Matt can get, it looks like Matt's got a solid 4 build here. I think that's what he needs. He's also got a Rampage already with a Vast Chimera. Like that's really good. That's a strong. If he can draw like 2 attacks in the next on his turn 2, I think we could see a very aggressive push here on turn 2 from him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest and very frank about it. That's the only City Rampage we've seen Matt have all match.
Yep.
We haven't seen him play a single one, and he has been playing incredibly good lines while we do it. You know, Matt, like you said, Matt Childress being one of the long-term or long-in players of the game for a long time, very easily able to play something like Godzilla, that this deck is very straightforward. It has very clear lines, and we're playing, you know, I'm going to call it perfect offense because that's exactly what this character is able to do as long as you understand the reach that this character has available to them. But Mitchell responding with his own, I want to say build 4.
Build 4.
Which one of them being that cheerleader. So the biggest impact about that cheerleader, at least for me, is that we have to get momentum. So I wonder if there's just a world where instead of relying on Quirks Unleashed next turn, we just find and try and get a little bit of damage in.
Looks like
Horrifying realization, going to pitch this foundation that we don't need, and we did end up drawing.
We got 2 attacks with the Rampage.
Yeah, we end up just drawing a pass through walls, but 2 attacks with a Rampage I think is the best you can ask for sometimes on turn 2 without sculpting, and we just need to get on the board and start generating some of this momentum, right?
I think we just go play the determined advance
without the City Rampage?
Yeah, I like why. Because here's the thing: that's a resource. Luckily, we got lucky here. We went this direction instead, and that's fine.
This is probably better than just slamming the 6 check or 6 diff and then checking the 3, right? Because you're going to commit all those cards anyway. So Determined Advance, I think, is still the choice that you could make. I think there's also just a world where you play just the Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken. But there it is. Hey, it paid off. You know, we checked a 3 on the action card, but we checked a 6 on the attack. We actually checked an 8, of course, because of that. But it's going to come in with +1/+4.
Yep.
And even if Mitchell wanted to play things like the Nice Try, it's actually only going to be for -1 speed because, again, Determined Advance can't go below 6 mid for 6 because of its static ability. But we're going to grab that momentum, and because we had committed that Master's Pride, we even made our stage a little bit healthier, getting one of those foundations back for the flip response.
It's crazy how that card sees so much play right now because, in a couple different decks, just because of there's so much fast momentum. You're just flip ready.
It's funny you say that because when rotation happened at the beginning of this year, when sets 2 and 3 of MHA rotated, Chaos lost so many good 0 diffs, and that one right there, Master's Pride, saw almost no play.
Yep.
Because of the power that the other ones had. But now, when it's down to one of the only options you have available to you, and like you said, there's a lot of synergies with the Chaos symbol, specifically getting fast momentum, it's just like the go-to choice now. It also randomly has Deadlock on it.
Yep. Looks like we're going to Nice Try here for -2 speed, get it back to printed.
Works out because that Swallowed by the Normal Enhance was used, which gave it another +1/+1, putting its speed up to 8. So the Nice Try actually getting the full value of giving -2 speed without being stopped by the static ability.
Yeah, I'm thinking on a line here for Matt. I think we're going to go. Do we EX this?
It looks like that is what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're going to EX3 at good counterplay to make sure and guarantee this 11 damage connecting. Softening up the Midoriya deck and going to put Mitchell on the back foot just a little bit more. And there it is. It's going to connect. 18 now to go. But we don't have +2 to our check anymore for Godzilla, but we do from the City Rampage, which means that this Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken is still going to be on a 5/6/7, and we check a 5/6/7.
Perfect. And we get the first enhance here, which...
Yeah, means that Cheerleader is all but guaranteed to get committed and frozen. And now the only cards that Mitchell has access to in his stage don't have any text, basically. I think the biggest play here that you're going to have is one of the cards in Mitchell's hand needs to be a Vestige, and we need to use that strong responsibility from Midoriya.
Well, we can just Midoriya for -3 speed here.
Oh,
which
yeah, that's
is-
right. All of
and
our cards have that
we'll
text.
we'll just Eerie block.
There we go. Ares block works as well. We're going to flip over one of these foundations, and we're going to say, hey, please stop attacking me. And Matt goes, okay, well, I was out of attacks anyway, so I guess we'll just build out anyway.
I mean, I'm happy to get an Eerie Smile, even if it's early. He's
Yeah.
already checked one, so that's 2 Eerie Smiles down already.
Yeah, that's true. He is playing the full suite of 4, obviously. But yeah, Monster Aggression coming down here is going to help push a little bit more stats for Matt in the future. Inspiring Song here on a 5. Commit 2 foundations. It's going to pass. We'll build our 2. We will take our 1 momentum, and we will pass back to Mitchell. And this will be the scariest turn, I think, for Mitchell on the decisions he's going to have to make. I wouldn't be surprised here if Mitchell goes a little deep in the tank, because do we transform? Do we poke? Do we try and get some momentum, even though our cheerleader is committed? If you were to transform just in its current state, all of your foundations are committed. I think we just have to stay on the front side and use our foundations as minus speed, especially now when you're staring across the monster aggression. Because that's going to be, that's one thing the Godzilla deck doesn't typically do. And now you have a foundation that gives 1/1.
Yeah, that's the hope here. Let's look at this hand here. I mean, it's a daggers, a tatter costume. He's got
Tatter
a
costume's good.
Goblin Bolt a Goblin Bolt on block's really good too.
That is very good. I wonder if he values getting a momentum, so playing the sweeping daggers of some sort, maybe. I wonder. I'm gonna very quickly scroll through Mitchell's deck. I don't even think he's playing any 6 checks that he could possibly build in for copying something like a Titan Cliff, because I think if you're gonna play a poke, it's not just about generating the momentum. It's how do we also progress our stage presence. But we aren't playing a single 6 check in our deck, so copying something like Titan Cliff wouldn't do anything.
I think it's actually you copy
The Vast
and freeze out Monster Aggression.
That is not a bad call here, and I think that might be exactly what's going
There's
on.
3 of them down.
Yeah, third Ares Smile has been checked for everybody keeping at home, or sorry, put in the discard pile. Sweeping Daggers, of course, going to be able to remove one of these pieces.
Yep.
And I think you're right. I think you're right, Jesse. We're going to pick... Oh.
Did he just break? Oh, I thought he just broke one of Matt's sleeves.
No, that would have been funny. We are going to pick that Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken to give and sticker the text onto this card, which means it will go to momentum face up if it deals.
True.
So we are going to be able to commit and freeze any foundation of our choice. And I agree with you. I think that Monster Aggression is probably the right choice. Or do we preemptively commit and freeze the pass-through walls because we have a tattered costume that I think could come in clutch for us versus either.
We did.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, meaning because it stops not just action cards like a City Rampage, but it also stops keyword abilities. And we know that Matt is playing things like Unfazed for Echo, Walk the Dog for Powerful and Stun, and EX on things like Smashing Stomp and Determined Advance.
Yep. There's the costume.
And we got a momentum.
Yep, and we got a momentum.
Masho's Concealment on a 4, it checks. That's going to help as well for finally freeze that might get built in. And then we're going to also try and build down this Return of the Kings by tapping this Nice Try, which is okay because it's going to ready itself up at the beginning of Matt's combat phase. And we have chosen to stay on the front side of Midoriya. I think that's the correct call.
Yes.
You can't just keep, you don't have the flash response. I get it. That's a very powerful ability. But now we have 5 foundations on our stage that we can just all commit them for -3 speed apiece.
All right, so other good thing is we kept a Vestige in hand.
Nice. That's even better.
Yep. That's important to this situation.
Yeah, passing back to Matt, though, as he draws up to his hand size. 1 Frozen Foundation. It will not ready. Matt has 5 foundations total to play with, one of which being that Inspiring Song that can give us a plus to our check, and 1 Momentum to play with at the beginning of the turn.
And it looks like we drew... we might be doing foundation. Let's see. Mitchell is at
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are at a 5 on the other 6 at the other side. So there is a world where you can first form.
This hand's like giving me first form energy.
It would not get rid of that tattered costume though, which
I know
is kind of important. But we do have a pass-through walls that we could rebuild.
Yes,
like a new one. But instead, we are just going to build the foundations on our hand and progress our own stage. Because you ready? We have the sideboarded Unyieldings in our deck now. Maybe that's just an alternative option we could find at some point. Build 3, pass, as we are at 30 for Matt, as we go back to Mitchell's turn, and he's going to draw up. And we did end up drawing the 4th copy of Aries Smile. So we have access to that last one, but we still have to establish a good defensive state. We drew a Bass Hybrid Chimera Kraken if we were trying to deter a little bit more.
That's a chrome Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken.
That's true. I believe those actually used to be owned by Calvin Tahan, your current reigning regional champion for Toronto. But now I think they're in the hands. They've been passed. The torch has been passed to Mitchell Chimino, as Calvin Tahan couldn't be at this event. I know that he wanted to be. But those beautiful looking chromes still being played to this day before they rotate, right? They rotate at the beginning of next year with the first set. So, you got to use them or lose them. On a 5, of course, it checks. This Fast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, I have no idea what we're going to pick here. I think there's so many real choices. The Monster Aggression being picked now because he's like, well, I can't keep you off of a pass-through walls. My Tatter costume is just going to be blank unless you commit them to pass checks or something. But stopping the 1-1, I think, is good for future-proofing and a great call here from Mitchell. But this is just going to be a 4 high for 6, and we're going to see if we have a good block here from Matt. And we do. We have the Guardian of Chinatown, and it checks a 5, so it's going to be very easy to pass this, and so keeping another momentum off of Mitchell.
Yeah, that's one. That's one with the +2 speed. We don't want to give. The Midoriya could do so much already. You're like, I don't want you to put any more speed.
And remember, we've now gone through enough turn cycles where the cheerleader has been ready again. So that momentum that we got already from the sweeping daggers earlier on in the game, we now have access to give flash while still being on the front side of Midoriya. But hey, just kidding. How about having the accessibility to flash 2 of my opponent's moves? And one of the cards that we committed was one of these nice tries, so we will get it back at the end of this turn. And I think Mitchell is just going to look to build out some more foundations here. Desperate Plea. That one is the 3rd wielder, I believe. Whip, Black Whip. No, that's not Black Whip.
No.
It's anyway, it's the one that gives -4 speed, right?
You put a card from your stage to your card pool, or you built I can't remember. This one's the ones that
6th wielder Smokescreen. Everybody is the card we just built. You add 1 card from your hand to your card pool face down, and it gives -4 speed. But yeah, now that we're on the back side, don't need that Vestige card in our hand anymore. And so we are going to build it down as, an emergency -4 speed if we have enough cards in our hand, of course. Passing back to Matt, staring across a bunch of ways of your attacks getting flashed, as well as some speed hate. And Matt's hand, he did get to keep everything in his hand that he wanted to, right? So I just didn't see what we drew. So we're going to stay here on this hand cam as we get one little flash here. City Rampage, Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, and 2 Smashing Stomp is a good start to a turn.
I like the line of City Rampage Smash and just start low checking him.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad call. I think the Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, though, for sure probably gets flashed, at least from either the cheerleader or Midoriya itself. The Smashing Stomps, though, getting flashed aren't the end of the world. It's just +1 to your next check, but it does still deny the enhanced step for the Godzilla to be used. But essentially, out of all these cards, the biggest thing I can say, no snap momentum. No way to get snap momentum except for the Titan's Pursuit in our stage from a completely block that would happen, and that's really just up to Mitchell on whether or not he values giving that momentum away. But if you just deny the enhanced step, who cares, right?
At this point, I think if I want to push Mitchell here, I go Rampage, Stomp, and see what and then fight for the last Aries Smile, and then play the Vast Hybrid last, and just be all right, now I'll get the last Aries Smile anyways. I'm going to build out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless one of the Stomps hits and draws you another attack.
I forgot. We even still have that last Aries Smile. So, if you play the high attack, it is a bigger risk. Checks a 6 on the City Rampage, though, so we are going to have +2 to our checks to play 5 difficulty cards or higher, and they will also get 1/1 while it's in the card pool. Yeah, just giving a read on the pass-through walls. Any asset ability, it can just cancel. Response, form, enhance, doesn't matter what the timing is. It will just be able to say no. So the Tatter costume is essentially blank unless those get committed for checks. All right, and then, Matt is going to make the decision here of is it Smashing Stomp or is it Vast Hybrid?
Yeah. I mean, we're at 18 minutes here.
Yeah, about 18 left in the round. And then, of course, there is the overtime rules. But Smashing Stomp seems to be the call here. And we do also have the last result from the other match that we are waiting on the bracket. Travis Tangeman taking down Andrew
And
M, which means every Hanj one has been eliminated
Yep.
immediately in top 16, and Krista Lenz moving on to top 8. But here we have a smashing stomp getting +1, +4, and the question is, do we have any responses on play? And Mitchell said, no, I don't.
Yep.
I'm going to block this one. +3 or +1 to our next check, of course. And then we are also going to press things like Fearsome Transformation. But Mitchell says, I will respond with Fearsome Transformation. That's literally one of the only enhances you have in your stage. I'm going to say no with this reusable resource as it will ready on his next turn.
You know what I would do looking at Mitchell's board?
What would you do?
I'd pop in. I would use a momentum for EX. Make him out and
Make
just
him use the thing?
make him use the thing. Like
Yeah, I mean, you do have the City Rampage, right? So you essentially what you would be what Matt has done all match, which is just spinning your momentum for the plus of the check without having any City Rampages in his hand. He now finally has the City Rampages, so he doesn't need per se to use his momentum for plus to his check.
We're gonna take it.
But it's just straight to the face,
And
which is going to give a draw. I believe we do another smashing stomp.
Here we go.
So we could just do the low check like you said. As we check a 6, just kidding, it was an 8 on this 7 difficulty move.
And we have a mid and high in hand.
Yeah,
we're gonna flash this.
We're going to flash this just for the sake of not giving the enhanced step as we draw the top card of our deck. I think it's another high block.
Yep.
Which is not good news if you are Midoriya fans. And he goes, yeah, I think the decision here is if
if he full blocks it, what happens?
If he full blocks it, he gives him momentum.
And he can't fly. Like, it's like, there's no other draw. He has no other draw here.
I mean, yeah, the thing is that we know that if Mitchell just gets slung at with another low attack, it's probably over.
Yep.
But Mitchell is still weighing the odds here. What's the other card in his hand? It is Aries Smile. We drew the sidestep and what?
And a Goblin Bolt. +1 mid.
For the +1 mid block. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks like that's probably going to be the only option here. Choosing for the partial. It passes, obviously. And so we will take half, going down to 3. This will connect, which means you are still able to draw the card. And it is another attack. A Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, a second one, because we haven't played the first one. But the question is, we could just continue to play these low attacks.
Keep playing the stomps. The stomps are, like, if he has no interaction to the first one, he had a partial this one, just keep going.
But it's a smart partial,
Yes.
right? So I think there's a real choice here where Matt isn't sure, right? Isn't sure about what those cards could be in Mitchell's hand. It really is unfortunate that we don't have a low block.
This always reminds me of these situations of, like, I'll get my best example is if there is a card in a format that allows you to easily take a look at your opponent's hand, Team Keith will play it.
Yeah.
Like, he will play the card. It might do nothing. It might be cost him off so much, but he's like, if I see your hand, I have the knowledge. I know. It makes it so much easier.
It means this point in the game isn't unknown, right?
Yeah.
It is where you could make a snap decision and figure out what things are going on. But that is exactly the tough choice here for Matt. Is like things like Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken have very impactful abilities on it when you're staring across all the things in the stage.
Yep.
You know, asking, hey, what does your smoke screen do? What does the 6-wielder do? You know, I have this cheerleader, of course, that we can still use. A bunch of minus speed or minus to our block mod. We even have the block trick, of course, of the Desperate Plea that can move something down. The Guardian of Chinatown doesn't do anything right now. But the question is, what is the next choice here from Matt? He was denied the enhanced step on that last one. Only +2 to the check due to the City Rampage. 3 cards in the card pool, but a very healthy stage. We literally haven't committed any of our foundations.
Like, we go Vast.
If you go Vast,
we're probably going to get flashed.
Yeah, if not, you lose the cheerleader, right?
Yeah.
But then that means
we have to play the 2 diff on a 6. Yep, we're gonna go this route.
There it is, 5, 6, 7, 8. Checks an 8. So again, not a single foundation having been committed here for Matt because of that City Rampage and checking very well. It comes in with 1, 4, and now the real question is from Mitchell: do you use the cheerleader?
Yep. Because if you don't, he just starts tapping things down. Like, it's you use the cheerleader, use the cheerleader or lose it. in this situation.
I think he's also doing some hard math here, which is, what if we don't block with the Aries Smile? What if we block with the Aries Sidestep? And then built it down with the Desperate Plea. So I think we're doing the math where if I debuild myself 1 using the Flash, this 5-speed move, we have a Goblin Bolt to just cancel the commit and freeze. We actually have a way to do it.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't have to give this Flash.
Yeah.
But the other question is, or do we use the Goblin Bolt to deny whatever this momentum will get used for, either the Godzilla Enhance or something like an EX or something in the future, right?
Yep.
But it is a hard choice to decide. I wonder if you just let this one go and you go to the Enhance step, because then you can use some of your speed hate to help yourself out a little bit so that you have a healthier stage going forward.
I think we're starting to make the...
We're doing some math.
Like
I think we're doing math separation of our stage of like,
Yep.
what am I allowed to commit? What do I feel comfortable committing? All the cards on the right, we are okay with committing. I think Mitchell wants to do whatever he can to keep the cards on the left safe.
Yep.
But it looks like we
Gonna
will be
fire
flashing
off
this. Spend the momentum, remove the cheerleader, give this flash. It is a 5 high for lethal. You are not allowed to partial this. He really wants to block with his Aaron Sidestep.
I know.
I'm gonna do some math. For everybody at home, Aaron Sidestep has a +3 high block, but never mind. Doesn't matter what math is anymore. We are going to play the Aries Smile. We did check a 4 on this, so it's on a 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to have to tap 4 of our resources. The question is, do you want to snap build this down, or do you want to keep up some speed hate? I think regardless is going to be a very difficult choice. And I think because Matt has had such good blocks this entire turn, that
Good checks.
good checks. Yeah, there's good checks this entire turn that we're going to be able to get a momentum here. We're able to play whatever we want, even after having to weave in a non-attack card from the Aries Smile. So it doesn't connect. We do give a momentum away due to the Titan's Pursuit, but Matt is going to have to play this moment of normalcy on a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Checks a 3. Might be a little bit of a deterrence, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. We need one more. Am I wrong?
There we go.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checks a 7, 8, 9, and 10. Mitchell goes, oh, well, this is rough.
That's
I
it.
don't have the low block, and that is the game. That is the match. Godzilla on Chaos for Matt Childress, your current 8th seed in Swiss, moving on to top 8. Midoriya on the move, eliminated from the tournament.
Ooh, that was a. I don't know why he did the zone change. Like after the first one, after taking the first one, partial the second one, I'm like, I would have just kept going low.
I think it's a hard choice. Right?
It is.
I think there's a real. You're not
It's
wrong.
a gut. It's a gut feeling.
It is a gut feeling. You get a little uneasy, right? You're like, wow, my rival was willing to go down to 3 because he wanted to put this Goblin Bolt. Like you have to think that in your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to think. My opponent really was valuing the decision to half block with that to stop an enhance ability, to stop a blitz ability that I could have played because he had the life to do so. But instead, the reality was Mitchell just didn't have any low blocks.
Yep.
And sometimes that is how you can win in this game, especially, again, at the end of the day, it led to drawing that one card from the first Smashing Stomp. We got the third one, because if it was just the 2, if we didn't draw any one of those extra bonus attacks, Mitchell did live that turn. So it came down to margins. But at the end of the day, Matt Childress takes down the win. Step back just a little bit. We got a little bit of feedback on the mics. Congratulations on your match progressing to top 8. My first thing I want to bring up is, Matt, you came into this tournament with 5 points this year.
That is accurate.
There is a world where if you
Up a
do
little
the
bit more.
run, you can make it to day 2 worlds instantaneously.
Yeah, I was looking at that article post last night, just because I knew I had no points, and now have enough to at least go to Worlds
Yeah,
on day 1.
you're day
So
one
that's
no matter
pretty
what.
Awesome. Yeah, like that was the long shot pipe dream when I came in yesterday, and then now I guess long shot pipe dream is go all the way, right, and get to day 2.
Absolutely.
But that's not what I'm in for. Like literally, just glad to even be here, glad to get to play and get to spend some time with friends. So.
Absolutely, and you're playing a great deck. You're playing a great character, and your offensive lines they look silky smooth. Is the way I describe it, man. You are a long-term player, as we talked about on the stream. I know you didn't hear us, but you've been playing this game for a long time, and characters like Godzilla. I mean, they're very cut and dry, but the decisions and points that you make along the way, even that last turn that we just saw, right? The decision of, do I weave in this Vast Hyper Chimera Kraken, or do I just keep slinging these low attacks? And at the end of the day, like, we knew, he's like, as soon as he plays that third one that you drew, you drew the third one.
I drew the third one, yeah.
And so it just ended up working out. But my question to you is now that you've won here, you're going to be able to take a look at the bracket at some point afterwards, as we move into top 8 here shortly. But Matt, after that win, how confident do you feel that you could win this whole thing?
I mean, so I think Godzilla's one of those decks where, like, if you just kind of burn hot, you got the chance, right?
Yeah.
Through Swiss, I lost to the mirror matchup Godzilla, and then I lost to the Double Gen that I believe is who I would play next round. I could be wrong about that.
No, you play against Phil Birch.
You're actually against
Phil
Birch. Phil
Birch.
took down the Double Gen?
Yeah.
Which
My
means you get to go first, though, Matt.
Oh, do I now?
Yeah, because Phil Birch is the 16th seed of this tournament. You're 8th seed, so
Hey now.
so you do get to go first against the Rodan. But the classic battle of the monsters.
Yes, Kaiju battle, let's go, right?
Absolutely. So
wow, that's the best news I've heard all day.
Yeah,
two
absolutely.
people then bet you've played against Phil, throughout the ages.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So it's like there's just like, there's this match going on. You guys have been playing this game forever. We'll see what happens. And we got a crazy, like, all the Hanjos are gone.
They all got eliminated.
Oh, really?
Every single one of them lost. So it is actually a crazy good opportunity where So again, now that I've given you some information,
Yeah, this is all news to me.
how do you feel about your confidence level, maybe potentially making it all the way to a finals run?
I mean, like, I think, again, it's kind of in the cards, right? Like, the deck is what it is. I'm going to make the best decisions I can. Like last round, Mitch and I were talking about it in game 2. I did make a pretty big mistake when I did get off my Kraken, and I didn't freeze his breakfast. And I should have done that, right?
That's what we were debating. Like,
yeah,
And
like,
I didn't. We didn't have like the full hand because you're very close to the chest with your
I was trying
card.
to be cognizant of that a little
No,
bit.
it's
Put 'em
okay.
out for you guys. Sorry.
I was like, well, if he has the hand trap, it'd be really cool. And you had the runaway, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, man, like, if
Right.
there was just
I didn't think that
Down
far
the
ahead,
line.
Like, well, because like going into that turn, I also contemplated nuking the world with Zilla, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad call. My hand was this awkward: 1 action, 2 attacks, 3 foundations, and I was like, well, I don't want to pitch a city and 2 attacks and a foundation.
Yeah.
But I think either that was the line in hindsight, or when he didn't flash the Kraken, definitely hitting the breakfast. So that way, it being unique, I can get my 1 runaway away, and then I don't lose that game immediately. So
Absolutely.
learning. Hindsight, learning mistake. But
is what it is.
it was great games. I mean, Mitch is incredible.
You gave us a full 80-minute match, and so
Yeah.
I hope the people at home had a great time. Matt, good luck on the rest
Thank
of
you.
your run. I'm really rooting for you.
Thank you.
You played impeccably well, and of course, also congratulations to Mitchell. He's a great opponent. So
he is.
absolutely. But we're gonna cut away here probably for a short break. We'll put the updated bracket away on the go away screen, and we'll also still have the deck list cycling through. But congratulations, Matt,
Awesome.
moving
Thank
on
you,
to
guys.
top 8. We'll see y'all in a little bit.
See you.